And welcome everybody to the Kiosk Presents here in Buffalo and West New York. You know, it's football season, and we got a very special person with us today. He's like a legend, I tell you. One of my favorites, Jerome Bettis. You know him as the boss. Pittsburgh Steelers won the Super Bowl in Jerome's hometown of Detroit in February 2006 when he retired. And I can't think of a man's career winding up better than Jerome's. Jerome, welcome to the Kiosk Presents.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Dr. Zitt, welcome too.
Well, thank you very much. I can't run as fast as he can, but other than that.
No, but if he ever comes after you, better run as fast as he can. That's all I'm going to say. But this is so wonderful having you here today. And you're not here to talk about football, your amazing career or anything, Jerome, but you're here to talk about something very near and dear to your heart, and that is allergies and allergic reactions. Tell us why you're here.
Well, I partnered up with Sanofi to really to bring awareness about severe allergic reactions, and another name is anaphylaxis. But there's been a survey that was sponsored by Sanofi that said of people that are traveling, most people that are traveling have had a severe allergic reaction, and that's a very dangerous thought in and of itself. But even more importantly, about 50% of those people said that they forgot their epinephrine autoinjector or their medicine. So imagine that. Here's a life-threatening situation, and you forget your medicine. And so, I want to bring awareness to that. And so I've got some tips to kind of help in that process. One is, when you're traveling, try to avoid that allergen altogether. I'm allergic to shellfish. So I'm very diligent about making sure I'm monitoring what's going into my body at all times. But accidents do happen. So the number two thing is to make sure you have your device. I don't want to forget my medicine at home when I'm traveling. And so I've got my device with me now. It's called Aivi-Q. It's an epinephrine autoinjector, and it actually talks you through the process. So once you pull it, it talks you through the injection process. So, this is a device you want to make sure you have with you at all times when you're traveling. And the third thing is you want to make sure you have the emergency information. Depending if you're traveling abroad, you want to make sure what number corresponds to what country that you're in. And if you're in the States, different cities may have different emergency information. So you want to make sure you have that information available to you when you're traveling. But of course, all of this information is available online at auvi-q.com, auvi-q.com.
Jerome, that's amazing, because I had a recent experience where I was doing some shopping. I was grabbing a bottle of vitamins off of a shelf in a store, and a bee had landed on my side. My arm trapped him there, and he stung me pretty well. Now, if I had an allergic reaction at that point and didn't have something to help me out, I would be in serious trouble.
Yes, you would be in serious trouble, and you'd be at risk of possibly death. That is the worst case scenario, but it is definitely a possible scenario. So you want to make sure you have a device with you if you were allergic to bee stings. You want to have your Aivi-Q with you.
Well, Jerome, I don't want to be totally selfish, so Dr. Zitt, you get a question here. How many people suffer from anaphylaxis, would you say? What's the risk factor out there in the general population?
It's a lot more than you think it is. Right now, the statistics seem to suggest that 6 million people in this country have anaphylaxis, but I can tell you that we've just completed a recent survey, and I can't give you the specific results on it until it's published, but I can tell you that it's a heck of a lot more than that. So we're dealing with a problem that's significantly underdiagnosed and definitely increasing in prevalence. I was very pleased that Jerome stated how severe this reaction is, because I fear that many of my patients don't really take it seriously, don't realize that this is life-threatening, and if they don't know what they're allergic to, if they haven't figured out what the trigger factors are, then they don't know what to avoid. And if they're not carrying their auto-injectors, as Jerome mentioned, then these people are at risk of severe, disastrous reactions. So I would urge everyone that's had any kind of reactions like this to see their primary care or health care provider and to identify the things that they're sensitive to so that they know what to avoid. And then most importantly, carry the epinephrine auto-injector with you and know how to use it. It's injected in the outer portion of the thigh. It has to be held there for 5 seconds. One should be reassured that they know how to use it practice. The unit that Jerome is talking about, the Aivi-Q, has a practice unit in it, and people can practice using it. And again, proper practice, understanding what you're sensitive to, having an action plan may save your life. So take it seriously. I think that's the key message.
You know, doctor, it seems to me that people with these type of allergic reactions, anaphylaxis, should take it as seriously as, say, a person with asthma would take their inhaler with them everywhere.
Absolutely, probably more so, because again, death in this situation can be extremely quick, and you don't have the luxury of sitting and saying, gee, I wonder whether this is going to be a severe reaction or not. That delay can be very, very dangerous to you. So if you recognize the symptoms and you know you've been exposed to something, use the epinephrine auto-injector first. We always say to the patients, use the injector first, ask questions later. So I think this is very important.
You know, and Jerome, as you were saying too, you got to take it with you everywhere, because you're dining out. You have no idea if elements of the shellfish were introduced to a dish and something, and and it was unknown to you as a consumer, and all of a sudden you're getting all types of severe reactions, and again, possibly life-threatening, and there's no time to analyze the situation. So it could happen anywhere, when you're traveling, when you're out to dinner, anywhere.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous situation, and that's why I want to bring awareness to this, because I think sometimes people that have severe allergic reactions, they don't think that, oh, I won't die from it. I'll have time to get to the hospital. In some instances, you won't have time, and so you want to make sure you have your device with you so that you can help your response time in that situation. But don't forget, even if you do use the device, you still need to seek immediate medical attention.
Okay, and everybody, the more information you can get from auvi-q.com. Did I do that right, guys?
Yep, auvi-q.com.
Wonderful. One last thing, because it's great to have you here, Jerome. You care about people, and that's why you're here. But you're also the founder of the Bus Stops Here Foundation to improve the life of underprivileged kids. I think that's wonderful. I wanted to give you some recognition for that, because you could be doing so many other things. You could be on Bimini, floating around on a raft in a bay, and here you are doing all kinds of wonderful things for people. And I just wanted to give you a little a heads up and acknowledgement for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the Kiosk Presents. And gentlemen, thank you for all the work you're doing, and best of everything.
Thanks a lot, John.